small village to a global leader. Was this always your dream, or can you sort of walk us through how this journey has been?
Well, when I was in a village, I have always heard at that time our leaders, our people who were leading the country, always talking of having shortage of engineers. We should have scientific mind. We should go into a place where we can create something in India. And that's what something I realized that one thing where we must do is, I must do it if possible, that is to create something for our country.
How was your early childhood? Where were you in a village? How did you sort of your journey to engineering and then into the corporate life?
I was born in 45, we got independence in 47. So India was looking at something in future. And the same way was happening in our village, where there was no school, where I was staying with my maternal uncle. So there was no school. So my maternal uncle built a school for me. When I came to Kanpur, it was class 5th. So I came and joined class 6. And I especially took science as a subject. And taking science as a subject means you're going into some kind of technical knowledge. Later on, as I kept on working on our subjects, I realized I'm more interested into mathematics than to biology. So you're not going to the kind of doctor side. I went to engineering side into something. And then I got admission to BHU. So BHU, I really chose chemical engineering. But when I joined BHU, that was year 1962. And in 1962, we had problems in our country. PL480, we are getting wheat from PL480 from America. And then we had a Chinese aggression. So I participated in some kind of movement in which we were trying to protect water. We were trying to go to railway stations to try to help our soldiers. That time I realized that probably my body is not fit to go and fight at the front or join the army. But yes, this is a time where I must do hard work. I must do my engineering and try to take up the profession, which was at that time we knew that fertilizer is one area which can contribute to producing more food grain. So that was something which I decided in my mind that if there's opportunity, I will take the first opportunity to be a fertilizer, join the fertilizer company, learn how to make fertilizer, make our country self-sufficient in food grain. And this is what had been my dream all through my life, to try and help the farmers, try and help the soil, try and help in making our country self-sufficient into food grain, and if possible, to be the powerhouse of providing to other part of the world.
After you got married, you had sort of ridden off in your scooter without your wife. And I thought that was a very lovely anecdote, very interesting anecdote. And if you could just share it with our audience, what was that context and how did you manage to sort of leave your wife and ride off in a scooter?
Well, it's very interesting. I had a Lambretta scooter. I still remember the number, RJR 5458.
Which year is this?
I bought it in about 1969. I got married in 70. But it so happened that my wife never sat on a scooter. Before that, her father had a car. And I had never had any girl on my scooter, so I didn't know how to. So I told her to sit on my scooter. We were going for a party. There was to be a lot of party. And my wife is a good singer. She is a music. She has done also that time she has done bachelor's in music. We had very good equation. And so I said, let's sit on my scooter and we'll go for a party. On the way, some Kota roads at that time were not as good as they are today. So after I started driving, she must have fallen because she was not holding anything. She thought she's sitting in a car. And I didn't realize that she has fallen from my scooter. So I reached at my friend's place and I looked back and I didn't find her. So I came back and I saw her. She's standing on the road and crying. So I said, "What happened?" She said, "I fell down." I said, "Okay, but you should have hold me." So I said, you should hold me like this. And since then, she has been holding me.
That's indeed a lovely story. IFFCO is a cooperative, and IFFCO functions on a lot of cooperative values. How do you maintain a balance? And I've always been curious of how do you maintain a balance between those cooperative values on one hand and corporate scale and corporate growth targets, etc. on the other hand, because this is an organization that's grown also at a phenomenal rate. So how do you sort of balance the sort of two ends of the scale, as it were?
IFFCO, as it has got more than about 35,675 societies, cooperative societies, which are our members, and we hold election every 5 years. We hold along with the parliament. So I always believe that our general body, which elects 21 directors, who becomes our directors on the board, is the same one which is elected the government. So there is no conflict. That way, the government policies we implement totally in IFFCO. We are always aligned with the government. So that's one thing which I have always made sure that there is no conflict between boards and the government. The second thing I have always done is I have not interfered in their affairs. That is, when politicians are elected as directors, they have their responsibility. They give a policy which is aligned with the government policies, and we implement those policies. But I also tell them, you don't interfere in the management. We don't interfere in your matter. You don't interfere in the management. And that has been maintained. So that is what the basic structure by which we have made cooperative as a corporate. And we work in the same principle. I have complete support of all chairmen, all the members of the board, and we are always aligned with the government policies. So I try to avoid conflict. I believe that having the same frequency is good for business and is good for growth.
Today, of course, IFFCO is at the pinnacle of not just India's cooperative movement, or it's not just a sort of fertilizer company. You're touching virtually every aspect of life, especially in rural India. To what extent is this modern success a reflection, you think, of your vision and, more importantly, perhaps your persistence with certain things when they may not have been in vogue?
Well, I think that as a organization wholly owned by the cooperatives, that means wholly owned the farmers. So what we have to do is we have to try and do all work which are good for the farmers. For example, when general insurance was getting open, we made sure that we immediately get the license for general insurance. And we were the first private company in a way, which was given license for general insurance. For example, we started having the first policy was Sankat Haran Bima Yojana.
Sankat Haran Bima.
That was when you buy one bag of fertilizer,
okay,
automatically you get insurance coverage for 4,000 rupees. And insurance premium is paid by us.
And what did that fertilizer bag cost?
That time it was costing same about 270 rupees or something. Oh. But the premium, 37 paisa premium, was paid by us. So we did a lot of new things in general insurance. And then after that, when we realized that our farmers are not able to get good pesticides, we immediately had a joint venture with Mitsubishi, and we started pesticide. We started that each farmer should have a village level or a Kasbah level store, agriculture store, where all kind of material is there. That is, the seed is there, fertilizer is there, pesticide is there, other commodities are there, equipments are there for farmers, we started this IFFCO Bazaar. When we realized that farmers are not able to get access to technology in form of mobile phones, we started IFFCO Sanchar with a joint venture with Airtel. When we realized that farmers need to have social forestry, we started an Indian Farmers Fertilizer Development Cooperative, whose main aim was to provide social forestry. And about 36,000 hectares of BAL in the country we have converted into rainforest. When we realized that farmers are having problem of getting credits, we started IFFCO Kisan Finance. So anything which farmer needs, we have tried to do it. When the earthquake came in Gujarat, we started IFFCO Kisan Seva Trust, in which we provide up to 75,000 rupees assistance to farmer for medical. We provide scholarship to bright children of farmers in the same IFFCO Kisan Seva Trust. So like that, we have built those organizations, which have been, when this thing came, NCDX, that is exchange traded commodity market, we put money into that, NCDX. We have been always continuously trying to make the life of the farmer better.
Talking about how you've expanded your business footprint. One of the, I think, most revolutionary products, if I may say so, nano urea is perhaps one of the key products, key changes that IFFCO is at the forefront of driving, not just from an Indian agriculture perspective, but from a global perspective.
We started a lab in our Kalol unit, which is our mother unit, and very near to Ahmedabad is our unit. And it's Gujarat is a very quiet atmosphere. It gives you opportunity to work.
That's
The
why you chose
disturbances are very less.
That's why you choose Kalol as your R&D setup.
Yeah. And we started from Kalol.
Okay.
So we started, that's why they give you opportunity to grow. So I built a lab there. I started getting the people to work on nanotechnologies. And I started telling everybody that why can't we take this nitrogen nucleus and break them into nanoparticle? And I tell you simple technology, what is happening actually? What is in layman's
terms, what is nano? Correct.
1 gram of urea has got 6,000 nanoparticle in it. 1 gram. So only one particle of 6,000 will be going to the plants, where only 30% getting absorbed. While if I break one molecule of nanourea, has been broken into roughly 30 nanoparticles are there. So 6,000 divided by 30 nanoparticles means 200. 200 nanoparticle of urea, of nitrogen, not urea, nitrogen is available in nanourea. So instead of one particle, he is getting now 200 particles. 200. So as soon as surface area increase, the efficiency goes up. So we have more than 95% efficiency. These are smaller than the pores of the leaf.
So it is getting absorbed through the stomata.
So absorbed through the stomata and goes up to the root, and say 73% used by the leaf. So leaf produces chlorophyll. Chlorophyll produces, I would say, protein, and immediately converted into good product. And about so left over 17%, 10% is used by the root, and about 7% by the stem. So stem is strong, roots are strong, and we are getting more than 6 to 7% higher yield. But then I started telling them that we are not stopping here. We are not starting with nano urea alone. Now let's go for nano DAP. Maybe same principle we applied. For DAP, the molecules, DAP or MAP, they are same. Only the difference is how much percentage of nitrogen and phosphorus is there. Then we started working on nano zinc. Now our nano zinc is very, very successful. IFFCO is a farmers organization. If I get less profit, doesn't matter. But what is more important is if I can contribute, if we can contribute something for the soil, for the country, For the farmers, for the cooperatives, IFFCO is there.